Hey, beautiful people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know you don't see J Rock, do you? She's out on location doing her thug thizzle. Kind of, sort of, not really. But we did do the house party on Tuesday. And I told her, I promised y'all I would do a straight talk with Spaceship today. So I'm going to try my best to orchestrate some thoughts that make a little bit of sense and hopefully y'all understand where I'm coming from. Once again, my name is Spaceship Oasis Incredible. This is Straight Talk with Spaceship, episode 34, season 3, episode 4. And the name of this show is called Don't Fail Me Now. So this morning we had all our returning teachers come today. We had a breakfast for them. The new teachers got to meet the old teachers. The old teachers got to meet the new teachers. And our ED, our educational director, came in and said some words. And while he was talking, he made a comment. Make sure you share the show. Please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube so I can to get the permissions from the YouTube so I can see your name. Because some of y'all comment and all it says is Facebook user. And I don't know who that is. So make sure you do that. But in his talk, he made a comment and it stuck with me. And it's the cause of the show today. And it said, behind every kid that is struggling, there is an adult that failed them. And of course, he was talking to us in the school realm and talking to us about being excellent teachers and caring for each kid. They're caring for each scholar and doing what we need to do to help push that scholar, because a lot of times what we see is, and what I see in the educational system is, a lot of teachers that already place stereotypes on scholars. What I see is a lot of teachers saying that a scholar can't learn, or a scholar can't do this, or a scholar is bad, simply because they can't reach that kid. And it got me to start thinking about, first, how long has this been going for the kid in the school system? One thing about me, and I tell people, I've never been the greatest teacher, but what I am, I'm a great motivator. I'm a kid whisperer. I know how to talk to scholars and try to get them to work for me and love on me. I love on them. I show them an authentic love. I'm not perfect. I don't do everything right all the time, but I try to show them the love that they need and desire. You can't share. You might need to go to the wild out. I don't know. I don't know why you can't share. Um, you might just have to copy the link and then put it on your page or something. That might work. I don't know. What up, Doug? Um, that might be because you can't put you got to put it on there. What's up, Samira? What's up, Callie D? Shout out Callie D. Callie D, I was thinking about you. Happy birthday, Callie D, again. But I am going to I am starting the book, Why Men Behave Badly. So we can definitely have those discussions as well. But I was thinking about how many teachers have failed certain kids. Then throughout my day, I started thinking about how many of us adults fail kids. And I know I did a episode probably in season 1 called Deadbeat Parents. And I was talking about how parents are deadbeat. But then I started thinking, like, as a whole, everything we do, our generation is so anti what our parents did. We're so, well, I got abused and I got treated this way and this way and this way. So I'm going to make sure my kids don't go through that. And that's fine and dandy. What's up, Pimp Say? That's fine and dandy until you realize that some of the things, and this is the problem I have, some of the things our parents did and our grandparents did, because I was raised by my grandparents more than my parents, they actually helped me, right? They actually were good for me. I should have made that public, huh? Let's see here. Yeah, you may need to go to the wild out for that. And so I can't sit here and say everything that I went through as a kid was bad for me. I can't sit here and say everything that, all the discipline I went through as a kid made me a worse person. Because even now, at my age, I know how to say ma'am and sir. I talk to kids every day. Some of these things I'm gonna say, y'all gonna argue with me, but I talk to kids every day. Kids don't know ma'am and sir. Kids don't know how not to curse around their parents or around adults. And the problem comes when adults don't correct the kids. All because you feel like how you was raised and how you grew up may have been wrong, or there was things that could have been done different. That's very true. I agree with that. That does not mean that you do not show your kids the way of respect, of hard work, of effort. And these kids are learning not to give effort. These kids are learning to give a pass. And I started thinking about, and I'm gonna talk about school more so than not, but I'm gonna talk about life. We wonder why there's a thing called No Child Left Behind. Because so many kids are failing. Why are so many kids failing? Parents don't help with homework. Parents don't care for homework. Today in school, I had teachers ask me, do you give out homework? And I was like, dang, we didn't give out homework last year. Why? Because parents ain't gonna make sure their kids have homework. What is that doing to your kid? That's taking away the responsibility of what school is about. Your kid goes to school, goes to class for 60 to 90 minutes, gets this information, leaves that class, and don't think about it again till tomorrow. Think about yourselves. How much stuff do you forget? When I was in school, homework was mandatory. Hold on. And so, it's what we're doing to these kids and how we're treating these kids. And I'm so sorry. I grew up like this, and this happened to me, and this happened to me. Yes, I understand it was tough, but we are failing our kids by not teaching them hard work. We're failing our kids by not teaching them the consequences of their actions. We are failing our kids by not showing them what happens when you don't do what you're supposed to do. You can build a relationship, but my rule number one is I'm not my kids' friends. None of my kids are over the age of 18, so I'm not my kids' friends. I can't do the same thing with them. And this is what I talk about friend, right? I can't do the same thing with them that I do with my friends. I can't have the same conversations with them. Well, me and my kid talk about everything. Sometimes you expose your kid too much. So then when your kid come to school, they talking about it. I saw video of kids in the bathroom doing powder. How do they even know how to do powder? Why? Because social media shows them? Because YouTubes and TikTok show them? And we don't stop to be intentional in their life. Why are you not? My grandma would do random checks in my backpack. You know why? Because I never knew when she was going to check it. So I bet not have nothing I'm not supposed to have. Like I say, when I go home to Michigan, even to this day, if I see somebody, an elder, yes, ma'am, no, sir, yes, sir. It's not something forced. When I see kids in school cussing out teachers, that was not normal back then. Kids curse in every other sentence. And then we have to ask ourselves, where are they getting this from? You know how many arguments I see a day on social media? You know how much negative talk I see every day on social media? You know how many times I see people neglecting their kids on social media? You know why kids aren't getting homework? Because while they got homework at home, you want to go to happy hour. You want to go hang out with your boo thing. And you're leaving your kid to their own devices. What do you think a kid's going to do? Play video games, play on their phone, or do homework? You think they're going to play on their phone or do chores? And all because they have a phone, sometimes you need to check and see their search history. I had a friend of mine. Great idea. She would randomly go into her daughter's search history on their phone. It is so easy for somebody to change the screen when you walk in the room. It is so easy for them to act like they're not on their phone when they're in your room, when they're in your presence. Grab that phone. What you looking at? Oh, nothing. Let me see your search history. Who's your friends? Pop up at schools. Let's talk. Let's chop it up. Let's rap a taste. And then you need to ask your kid, if you want to be in that relationship, what do you see me doing that you have questions about? Because a lot of times we do things and we don't recognize how it affects our kids. See, if we want to change the narrative, if we want to change the narrative of what happened with us, with our parents, we have to do it better. We don't just not do it. We have to learn to do it better. We have to learn to communicate. This is a generation, and us, our generation, we are shut down. We are, you can't tell me nothing. We are, don't talk to me. We are, I'm mad, leave me alone generation. Conversations are tough. True, honesty, transparent conversations are hard. They are a necessity for us to continue to build our culture. We wonder why Black people don't support Black people. We wonder why other people don't support Black people. Because we're so busy knocking each other down. I got a good friend. She might still be on here, Callie D. White woman. Amazing spirit. I know she probably goes through the same things. But in the hip hop realm, I rarely see white people knocking her down, hating on her craft, not supporting. And of course, we're entertainers. It happens. My views don't be popping every day. I get it. My numbers ain't the greatest. I don't care. I don't do this for numbers. What's up, Petty? I do this to give information. Our parents lied to us about a lot of things. Our grandparents lied to us a lot of things. Our job now ain't to lie to our kids. Our job now isn't to put a blind eye to our kids. Appreciate the stars, Pip say. We have to, at some point, stop failing our kids. At some point, a lot of us are still stuck in the best years of our lives. How do I know? I was there. I thought I would be doing clubs and rapping for the rest of my life until it clicked that, hey, I need my kids to see a legacy. I work hard now. I don't work hard just for the money. And that's another thing we're going to talk about. We are so enthralled with money that it makes our kids enthralled with money. We are so enthralled with money, it makes our kids enthralled with money. I don't do what I do for money, but I get money. I live a comfortable life, but everything I do ain't about the dollar. I do things to change the narrative on my life. And I do things, more importantly, so that my kids can see success and positivity. So they can see somebody in their lives that is aspiring to be great. Because now, as much money as we want, we're still aspiring to be mediocre, to be average. We want to be comfortable financially without putting in the hard work. We are failing our kids in every aspect of life. We have to teach our kids life skills. We have to teach our kids respect. We have to teach our kids consequences. And then we wonder, as these kids get older, why they are the way they are. Because there's an adult, whether it's you, if it's not you, if you're raising your kids to the best of your ability and you know that they're in a positive space, I'm not talking to you. But if your kid is struggling, there's an adult somewhere in their life that has failed them. And you have to recognize that. We can't keep going around trying to prescribe our kids. Oh, they just have ADD. Oh, they just don't like people. Oh, no. Even I was talking to a teacher today, and he said, Mr. Jones, we're kind of the same. We're extroverts and we love being around people. I said, no, 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 no. I'm an ambivert. I'm an ambivert. When I'm out, I love entertaining people. When I come to work, I am at work. When I'm at home, I like to think. I like my personal time. Because I'm always, and people ask me, why do I drive so much when I travel? I drive so much so I can sit there and think about how can I be a better person? Reflect on the things I do, the things I say, because a lot of times in this life, because I am conditioned based on how I was raised, I am wrong a lot of times. I don't handle things right a lot of times. And I need to check myself, because when I talk to my kids, I don't want to give them the response that I did. I don't want to give them the thought that it's okay to do the things that I did when I knowingly know I was wrong. Knowingly know, is that a word? Is that a good phrase? Knowingly know. We have to have come to Jesus moments with ourselves. We have been so hurt and so painful, but the thing is, the buck has to stop somewhere. There is a point. There has to come a point where we have to have that talk with ourselves, that hard conversation, that honesty, that truth talk, and say, I need to get better. I need to do better. What happens a lot of times is, even when we know we're not up to par, we either feel so bad about ourselves that we don't want to admit it, or we don't want other people to tell us about ourselves. At school, last year was a tough year for me. Very hard year. Our scores are not where I wanted them to be, because I thought I was the greatest math teacher ever, right? But not being a math teacher anymore and coaching teachers, I wasn't able to relate. So this summer, I read a book called Better Conversations, so that I can talk to my teachers better, so that I can be a better listener. And it works for me in my personal life too. I have to address my flaws. I have to address what I need to do to be a better person, so that my kids and the kids that I'm around see me as a light. We are failing our kids. We are on social media talking about folks, hating on folks, saying what we don't like. The only thing we really like on social media is entertainment and food. We rarely talk about politics on social media. We rarely talk about life things on social media. We rarely talk about the growth in our communities on social media. We talk about entertainment and food in a positive light. I had a homeboy yesterday. He sent me a text message last night, and he made this post, and it was a very long post to this young lady made a post, and he responded on the post, right? And one of his comments within his post was, it's not that um, dudes don't want to talk to certain women, but when a man sees a woman always putting down women or putting down men, why do you think a man will want to talk to you? Women think that they can say whatever they want about men, and men do too. If you're saying all of this negative stuff about the opposite sex, the person that you were created to be with, why do you think that person, where do you think that works to say, yeah, she looks like a catch. Yeah, he looked like a catch. He hates women. And then our attitudes or our work, watch your thoughts. Your thoughts become your words. Watch your words, because your words become your actions. So now the things that you're saying, all this negativity, all this impossible relationships that you're having, these permeate to your kids. I've made a comment before. Women teach their daughters to be independent. They teach their sons to depend on their mother. Men need to step up and be part of their kids' lives. Period. Regardless of relationships, regardless of whatever. Right now, I got some things going on in my personal life. I am learning to combat those. I am working to fight those things. I can't sit back and be like, oh, well. And I think me saying that, it creates this thought in me that we give up so quickly now. The world has given us so many options. We have a buffet of options for anything we want in this world. I'm sorry, y'all. My whole light just went off. We have so many options in this world that now we feel like nothing else matters. I don't need you. I can find somebody else. I don't have to deal with this. I've seen people talk about marriages back in the day. Well, men cheated on their wife and women did this and men did this, but they stayed together. Why did they stay together? Oh, well, let me tell you why they stayed together. Because they understood the grass wasn't necessarily greener on the other side. They understood that you have to fight through things. You have to go through things. Now we have so many options. So I don't need to keep that job. I can quit and get another one. I don't need to keep that relationship. I don't have to look at myself in the mirror. I can just not deal with it and go to somebody else who don't know these bad traits of mine. And once they find out these bad traits, then I can go to somebody else. I don't need to have my kid's dad in their life because I can find another dad. I don't need to do this because I always got this. We have so many options in this world. Those options are teaching kids that they can be a failure and it's okay to move on. The main reason I'm here in front of y'all right now is because when I was growing up, my number one thing when I went to college, I didn't want to fail. I could have failed and went back to Flint and probably went to a JUCO or Michigan State or Michigan or Eastern. Some other school would have took me in. But I knew I didn't want to fail. Where's our heart? Where's our stick-to-itiveness? Where are the things? Where's the character traits that our kids can look at besides being mommy and daddy or teacher or pastor or aunt or uncle that says, I want to be like them? What makes you a role model? Ask yourself that. What do you do in your life when people see you, when kids see you, whether it's the same store you go to? I go to the same Kroger. It's young people at that Kroger. When I go to that Kroger, I'm cognizant because they know I'm a teacher. What am I wearing? How am I talking? If I'm on the phone, what am I saying? Because they may not be related to me. They may not know my name, but they recognize me because I'm there all the time. We have now this I don't care attitude. I don't care what people think about me. Why not? You are, but you want respect. As adults, we want respect, but we don't want to present ourselves in a respectful way. Even, and I'm gonna tell y'all something, truth serum, even when I make jokes on social media, sometimes, and if you notice, I don't do it as much because I think about who's seeing this. There are people on my page who kids have went to my school. So I have to be careful what I say. Why would a parent want this? I'm still funny. I still make certain jokes, but there's certain things that are now, as I'm getting older and I'm understanding my responsibility to society, I don't do. There are places I don't go. There are things I don't do anymore. I want my daughters to look at me and say, this is a great man. I want my sons to look at me and say, I want to be like dad. I want my students to love me. And I don't even teach kids. And so many people this year, even coming back, I thought you were going to be principal this year. You should be principal this year. I try to be a role model. I try to be an exemplar, an example of success, of greatness. And one of the things that got me here was not having those easy freaking conversations. I had to take a lot of criticism, and I still do. And I still get in my feelings, and I still suck it up, because at the end of the day, I want to be better. I want to be better. I don't care how many people want me to be better. If you don't want to be better, it won't work. I was watching, all the Wiz Khalifa stuff transpiring. Somebody on a post made a very good comment, because they were talking about the DJ shouldn't have did this, shouldn't have did this, shouldn't have did this. That may be true, but that reaction that Wiz Khalifa had was uncalled for. Last night, me and my family have a Zoom every Wednesday, and my sister asked the question of, name a time where you was totally upset and somebody cut you deep, and what did you do? And I said, the old me, I would have fought. Now I leave. And sometimes I even write a letter or a note to the person I'm having a problem with at work. And then we could talk about that. I've had to learn to be better, because already I'm a black man. And the way I talk, a lot of times, people think I'm always angry, because I talk with diction and conviction and a tone and a strength in my voice. I know this about me. I can't keep sitting back saying, but that's not what I mean. That's not what I say. I am cognizant of the effect I have on society because of how God made me, how I was created. I know I'm a VIP. I know I'm an important person. I know I'm a person that moves and shakes the ground. One of our new teachers today said, it's crazy how everybody gives you respect. I didn't just wake up one day and get that respect. I didn't just go to my new school and all of a sudden, ta-da, everybody loves Jones. No, I had to earn it. I had to show myself. In the music industry, when I go to these clubs, I don't get these offers to host clubs or shows or events or just walk through without paying, because I'm Spaceship. I'm not from here. Nobody knew Spaceship. I had to work hard. Hey, Miss Bossy, I had to work hard. And it was easy for me to work hard in the clubs because I wanted that respect. Why don't we want that same respect from our kids? I can't be my kids' friend. I have to show myself to be a good person. I have to show myself to be loving, and I'm a strict dad. In the schools, I have to show myself to be a great educator. I can't get mad. I had a kid yesterday that came in and she was transferring. And last year she got in fights and she was, and even her grandfather, when we was talking, yeah, I know y'all ready for her to leave. I said, I'm not. I love her. And while he was in there doing her paperwork, me and her sat out there and talking. He was kind of surprised, like, dang, she really talked to you? Because I showed them the respect. I'm not your friend, but I'm going to treat you with love. I want to embark something with you. As a child, you learn. As you get older, you understand. See, the problem is we're so worried about kids understanding us right now. Kids are seeds. We are water. We put that seed in the ground. We have to fertilize. We have to nurture that nurture that seed. When they get older, even for me, even to this day, I have so many aha moments from things my grandfather told me, from things my teachers told me, from things my mentor told me, from things even my friends have told me that I may not have gotten at the time. What life lessons are we embarking on our kids? Big facts. What's up, George Norman? We are so worried about it. And I made a post about this the other day. I've never been the most liked. I never wanted to be the popular kid. I always wanted to be great. When I was younger, I didn't know how to be great, but I hung with great people. I tried to do great things. You know what that did? That instilled in me great stuff. that instilled in me now that I'm older and I understand those things and what I was doing. I have a mentoring group at school. I literally had parents that said, no, I don't want my kid mentored. But your kid is always in trouble. Your kid is always getting kicked out. And guess what you do? You're protecting your kid. How do you not know how your kid acts? And you got 2 kids at the school. And by the end of the year, when she finally came up there to talk to her kids or talk to the principal about her kids, and I was in the meeting because I still work with the kids. Yeah, my kids talk about you all the time. Thank you so much for helping them. They really love you. Because even when she said she didn't want her kids in my mentoring group, I still mentored her kids. They can't get the perks. And I had to teach them that. I could have easily, I got pizza. Come here, little Tony. Come get some pizza. No, your mama don't want you part of this. I'm going to still love on you because every kid in the school matters to me. And they matured by the end of the year. When we as grown-ass men are walking around sagging, what are we teaching our young men? With every day we got on white t-shirt and the same damn shorts and ain't cleaning out, changing our drawers, and we womanizing women, what are we teaching our young men? I used to bring females over, and then I had to stop that. And I actually had a female stop talking to me because you can't come around my kids. Why? Because I don't want to show them that. I don't want my daughter to see daddy as a womanizer. I don't want my boys to think it's okay to have sexual relations with any woman I meet. Every time they come over on the weekend, they got to go to bed early. Or I got a new friend at the house. And I had to change my behavior towards women. And I have great female friends. I'd rather hang with them now than females that want to cut. Like I said, I got shirts that say all types of crazy stuff. I can't wear those out anymore. I don't know who I'm going to see where. I can't be out here fighting like crazy anymore. We are failing our kids, and they're begging for us. Don't fail me, Mom. Don't fail me, Dad. Don't fail me, Black community leaders. I don't see. Ain't no what's that boy name that's out here? The black man. I forgot his name. I ain't see him at my school. But I'll see him at a party. I'll see him at a Kwanzaa fest. I don't see Black leaders coming to our schools talking to Black kids. I don't see Black leaders and Black role models. Who we got? Who do we have right now besides Barack and Michelle? And half of the Black delegation don't like Barack. We don't have leaders in our community. And we're waiting on someone to help our community, but we don't have them. And we too lazy and too caught up on our own trivial stuff to be those leaders, to stand up for what's right. Everything Martin Luther King said wasn't nice. Malcolm X definitely wasn't nice. Jesse Jackson wasn't nice. Marcus Garvey wasn't nice. But these things needed to be said for the growth of our community. Our kids should not be getting raised by TVs and cell phones now. Our kids shouldn't be raised by the emulation of the most stupidest people. Because I'm going to tell you something, on social media, the great people don't get shared. The great people don't go viral. What goes viral? Dances. And dance is a cultural thing. I like dancing. When was the last time you seen somebody recite a Still I Rise poem? When the last time you see somebody talk about something in depth that wasn't about relationships? You have to have those tough talks. What up, Ma? We got to have those tough talks. We got to have those conversations with our kids. We got to have those conversations with our friends, because that's where it also starts. Because a lot of times we allow our friends and our people that we are love and that we're cool with to display these bad activities, and we don't say anything. We turn a blind eye. They're grown. These are my people. No, at some point we got to say, no, 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 no. I don't want that around me. I don't want that in my spirit. No, you need to do this. No, like young ladies, when you spend 2 hours getting dressed, makeup and all that, and you're late for an event, what do you think you're showing your kids? Fellas, when every spot you want to go to, you got on the same stupid outfit. All you want to do is holler at women and be disrespectful to them. What are you showing people? What are you showing young men? We have to cut our nose and spite our face sometimes. We have to be honest with ourselves. Because what we're not doing, we're not living right by this next generation. Then we went, oh, they're so bad, they don't do anything. You can live in an apartment complex now, see a kid do something every day. You can see a kid breaking into a car and won't say nothing. That's none of my business. I grew up in a time where everything was my business. And then people have to adjust. They're going to probably say, but these kids different now. They shooting stuff. Let me tell you something. I grew up in a bad neighborhood, in a bad part of town, and it was worse too. But at the end of the day, if you come with love, 9 times out of 10, ain't nothing bad going to happen. We more scary. We've been scary since first Friday. Even after Craig whooped on Debo. We don't like to fight. Sometimes you have to put that gun down. Let me get your hand. But everybody want a gun now. Everybody want to enjoy the videos with weapons. We as adults play the Call of Duties and stuff. We as adults talk about guns around our kids. These kids are getting guns from somebody. I've seen the Instagrams, the Snapchats, where kids are posting pictures of guns. I know that it's not as easy as I say. I just don't understand how these kids are getting these guns and taking these pictures, and you don't know about what your kid is doing. That goes back. Check their phones. Check what they're doing. These kids are doing all these things that nowadays, and being in the school, and I'm in middle school, so I don't even know how high school is. High school may be worse. But these kids think they're adults. These kids are talking with adult vernacular. I didn't know certain things when I was younger. We know social media makes these kids more aware of stuff that we didn't. When I was growing up, we had Playboy. Now they got Pornhub. When I was growing up, we had radio. Now we got Spotify. So I get it. But that means as adults, we have to work twice as hard. We got to spend twice as much time with our kids. See, even when our parents did what our parents did, and I'm saying that for the preface of that's who a lot of us blame. A lot of us love to blame our parents. While we was raised, they spent more time with us. So now we're more forgiving and spend less time. As long as our kids are quiet, we good. As long as my kid ain't getting a phone call home, we straight. As long as my kid ain't getting this or this, I'm good. No. We have to be intentional about what they're seeing, what they're hearing, how they're speaking, how they're talking to us. My sons know they will have dentures at the age of 11 if they talk to me crazy. My kids know they would have dentures if I found out they were at school talking crazy. Because we don't learn that around here. And we're going to discuss it. We're going to discuss why these words ain't child appropriate. We're going to discuss why these actions aren't child appropriate. Who do you think you are? Who told you as an adult? I used to have a debate. I had a debate with a lady once, and she was talking about her kid don't have to get out her house till 25, right? And I'm against that personally. You graduate high school, you need to start making an exit plan. You need time to get yourself together. That's cool, but you're not going to be. I actually saw a video online where this dude, he was 40 years old, living with his mom and her and stepdad. And stepdad was paying bills, but it was mama's house. And she said he ain't got to go nowhere. What are we teaching our kids? How are we teaching them to think for themselves? How are we teaching them to survive on their own? And then when the kids can't survive on their own and they can't think for themselves, and then there comes a point in our life where we're like, I failed my kid. Oh, you what? Say it again. Say it again for the people in the back. You what, your kid? You failed your kid. Hey, Keish. You failed your kids. Spend time with your kids. Talk to your kids. Read with your kids. Learn your kids. Your kids talk too damn much. So if you spend enough time with your kids, you're going to learn a little bit about them. Ain't no kid smart enough to be slick to hide everything they're doing if you are intentionally talking to them. If you're intentionally showing yourself to have the presence of an adult, not a kid in an adult body. Paying bills is not all it is to adulting. We have to be leaders of our community, leaders of our culture, leaders of our generation. Everybody can't be the cool person. Everybody can't be the cool auntie. Everybody can't be the cool mama. People have roles. We have to get back into these kids' lives, man. We are failing these kids. We are failing these kids. We're so caught up on making sure we live our best life. Hot girl summer. What kid enjoys their mama having a hot girl summer? Y'all running around singing fuck nigga free in front of your kids. So who was the fuck nigga that you had, mama? Your last boyfriend or my daddy? When these fellas talk about all this crazy stuff in these raps, I remember Jeezy said, I don't raise my kids off the lyrics I rap. And we still be in tune. We love us some Jeezy, right? Because we love that imagery. But guess what happens with that imagery? Guess what happens with that imagery? Our kids are hearing it. Because I'm going to tell you a secret. Jeezy ain't at home singing Thug Motivation. And it's his song, so he might not even be listening to that hoe. We listening to that hoe, singing that hoe in front of our kids, and they hearing it. Jeezy ain't getting that Jeezy ain't putting that in his kids. They probably know his music because he's Jeezy. They might know, Future music because it's Future. But I guarantee you, they're not listening to their own music at the house. They not. They probably listening to some Burt Bacharach, some Mick Jagger, some Frank Sinatra, some James Brown, some Luther, some Patty. But they're feeding this stuff to us. Everything that we're seeing, they're feeding it to us so that we can give it to our kid, or they're feeding it to the kids directly. It's the worst drug it is. It's the worst drug it is. Even those Oh, I'm just scrolling people, right? I'm just scrolling. I'm just looking. How many times do you have to see a negative post to get to a positive? And I be on social media. I read. I do. So I'm not sitting here oblivious to what's going on. But I have to be cognizant of what I'm putting out there. I have to be cognizant of what I'm saying. I don't want to fail my kids. I don't want to fail the world. I'm not always going to be right. I'm not always going to be wrong. I'm not always going to be nice. I'm not always going to be mean. I'm a human being. But I try to walk with a character where people know what they're going to get from me. They know what they're going to get from me. Even if I say something and it's totally wrong, they know that if it's my truth, I'm going to believe it until you show me different and I can admit that I'm wrong about it. And I'm cool with it. I ain't got to harp on it. I'm going all over the place. But think about that. Like, sometimes we argue. We don't teach our kids to say, I'm sorry. We don't teach our kids to say, I'm wrong. We don't teach our kids to admit fault. And then we expect for them to show these characteristics in front of other people. But they've never heard us say, I'm sorry. They never heard us say I'm wrong. They never heard us say, I don't know how. I don't want to know how to do everything. I want to learn. I'm over there right now. Before this show, I'm on Duolingo. I'm trying to learn Spanish. By the end of 2023, I want to know 5 languages. And I'm over 40 years old. My daughter was up here today playing Minecraft. You're over there learning Spanish? Yes, ma'am. But guess what? That's going to impart in her head. That's going to impart in her head. She's going to see me learning Spanish. So if she takes Spanish or she decides to learn another language, if Dad can do it, Mr. J can do it, then I can do it. Most of our kids see us doing TikTok dance. That's what they see us learn. TikTok dances. They don't see us learn anything. They don't even see us pick up a cookbook and learn a new recipe. If your kids aren't seeing you grow, how are they going to grow? If you're not even watering yourself, how are you going to water them? If you're not even nurturing yourself, how are you nurturing them? I am reading a book, I am learning a new language, and I'm doing a 30-day sit-up challenge all this week. Why? Because I want to get myself better. I am tired of being, even now, I'm not even mediocre. I wouldn't even call myself average, but I'm tired of being where I'm at now. I don't want to be that person. I want to be better than every day. I want to be striving. Until I die, I want every day of my life to be a better day. We are failing our kids. They see us talking about other folks' business more than we have our own business. We ain't even got our own business, but we got an opinion on everybody else shit. That's what we supposed to have, huh? Because it's the media. No, we don't. Motherfuckers didn't care about what Bill Cosby was doing back in the 70s. That's why they're trying to get him now. We cared about Fat Albert, The Cosby Show, Cosby, The Brown Hornet, Jello Pudding Pops. We didn't care who he was married to, who he divorcing, who did what to what. Now you see the Shade Room. Such and such was seen with such and such. Girl, you see that? You ain't talking about Alex Jones saying Sandy Hook wasn't real. You ain't talking about these January 6th hearings with your kids and what happened and how they tried to riot the White House. You ain't talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency declining. You ain't even talking to your kids right now about what their goals are in school this year. What are their expectations in school? You get your kids ready for school now, they're going to go to school with a different mentality. All you're worried about is tax-free weekend, making sure they got their school supplies and their clothes, if they wear uniform, and what day school start. What goals have you wrote down with your kids about school? What goals have you wrote down with your kids this year? What do your kid want to be when they grow up? What are you doing to cultivate that? How are you making sure they stay on the straight and narrow? That's a fucking friend. Why y'all up here talking about I'm my kid's friend? That's a friend. A friend checks on you, make sure you good. A friend don't just assume you good. But you ain't even friends when you saying you friends. You ain't got to be your parents to put pressure on your kids to be great. And I don't mean pressure like stress and anxiety. That when I take my boys bowling, I put the gutter protectors up. Because I don't want them throwing gutter balls, because then they're going to be like, what's the point? Because I know they can't bowl. We don't put protectors up even in our kids' lives to make sure they don't go in the gutter. We just let our kids roll their ball wherever it goes and oh well. What are we doing to put those protectors up? What are we doing to say, this is the straight and narrow? Keep your nose clean. Don't be having no babies. Stuff that we went through, some of us, because I'm a baby daddy, that my grandfather didn't talk to me about the birds and the bees. I didn't have those conversations. But I also didn't have sex until I got a little fame. But now I know better. I know what I go through. So I need to tell my sons this. I ask my sons, what do you want to be when we talk about life and college, and we looking at things that they can say, I want to be that. Y'all, we are looking at reality shows. We are looking at cooking shows, gaming shows. This is what kids looking at, and us, right? We don't look at a lot of things with our kids that they can say, I inspire. I wanted to be a doctor. That was my first position. Why? Because of Cliff Huxtable. Didn't even know he was a gynecologist. I was like 3 weeks ago, years old, when I found out he was a gynecologist. I probably knew it, but I didn't pay attention to it. I just wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be Dr. Cliff Huxtable. What does your kid want to be? How your kid gonna get there? What are you gonna do to help him? We make kids and then be so consumed with our life that we can't even understand what they want to do, what they want to be. And by the time we realize we need to cultivate them, it's too late. They're stuck in their ways now. They're damn near adults. We can't fail our kids, y'all. We can't do that. We got to stop that. I can't say we can't do that. We're already doing that. We got to stop it. These kids, and I see these kids, and once again, I'm going to go back to, y'all don't got to fucking listen to me. I probably see your kids more than you see your kids. Because I see your kids more than I see my kids. I talk to your kids more than you talk to your kids, probably. These kids are crying out. I got kids at school that are transgender, or, girls that want to be boys. Girls that want to be boys, boys that want to be girls. And they change clothes before they go home. Their parents don't know. You don't even know who your kids' friends are. You don't know what they're doing in them snaps. Go to your kid's phone. If your kid is in school, go to your kid's phone, and if they have Instagram, go in their inbox. Look at their chat threads. If your kid has a phone and they're in school, in elementary, middle school, I don't even know about college. College, that's on you if you care about that. But middle school and high school, go to their Instagram. Because see, us old folk, we be on Facebook. These kids, IG. Go to their chat threads. That'll tell you a lot that you need to know about your kid. What do you know about your kid? Who are you putting in your kid's life? Who, like, if I know my kid needs certain things, you're going to have to sacrifice their kids. If I know my kids need certain things, and it's not just materialistic. If my kid wants some Jordans, I'm going to go out and get these Jordans because I want my kid to feel good. But your kid don't feel good on the inside. Your kid needs you to not fail them. They don't understand life. They don't get this. It's a lot of changes. It's as much as it's hard being an adult for us now, it's hard as shit for these kids to be kids now. We didn't have to worry about too many people. I would say maybe 0.5% of kids when I was in school that we thought were gay, that had a sex change or wanted to be a different gender. We didn't have to deal with that. These kids dealing with that now. And then they're getting talked about from their teachers. They're getting talked about from their peers. These kids are doing drugs. Heavy. Young. I had sixth grade drug dealers. I know 6th grade drug dealers. And the parents come up there and act like they have no clue. Now, if you don't have a clue, you fucked up. And if you acting like you don't have a clue, you super fucked up. I got 6th grade drug dealers on everything I love. I've seen it. I've seen it. Last year, I caught a young lady with a needle. I have kids giving kids fake tattoos with needles or giving them real tattoos with needles. I wish my kid would come home with something on their fucking body and I didn't know. I just got my first tattoo. My grandma wouldn't let me get my ears pierced till I was 18. Now we getting kids ears pierced, whatever they want, nose pierced, belly button pierced, 10, 11, 12 years old. I have seen it. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. We are failing our kids. While we out there living our best life, going to happy hour, going to the comedy show, because I done raised these kids and I need my me time, your kid is at home doing something that you have no clue. And by the time you get home, because they know you're going to be home, ain't going to be home for a long time. They know you ain't going to call because you're living your best life. And they know you're going to call when you're on your way home. They're back in the bed. You ain't paying attention to nothing. Nothing. You don't even see the kind of rapper on the floor. You don't read the mail, so you don't even know what's going on in your kid's life. We had parents come up there today trying to register their kids. We just had open house on Tuesday and Wednesday for kids. It's Thursday and you coming up here. You're failing your kid. Because even kids that are new to the school was able to fellowship with other kids, build relationships. You only think about yourself. But they can't build them relationships. They can't get to know their teachers. I'm tired. I go up there tomorrow. You can't get in today. Sorry. And I am unapologetic if you don't do shit when you're supposed to do shit. If I don't do shit when I'm supposed to do shit, like I got my old Spectrum cable box. I just went and got it from the old house last night, right? And I'm like, dang, I need to turn this thing in. If they charge me before I turn it in, whose fault is that? If your kid gonna get registered because you waited a day late, whose fault? That ain't the school's fault. If you go to sleep every night, your kid know they can steal your car. Whose fault is that? I had a person tell me that they caught their son in the bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, 10-year-old son, looking at Pornhub at 3 o'clock in the morning. Why? Take your kid's phone when they go to bed. Because it's not like, for me, when I went to bed when I was growing up, my granddad said, cut the TV off. And I bet not. And there was times I tried to sneak. And when I heard that door open, I cut the TV off and lay down real quick. And sometimes I got caught. But kids got phones now. Take that damn phone. They're not going to hate you. I am mean. I am so mean, y'all. I am mean to kids. I bully kids sometimes. Because you're not going to bully me. I'll bully you first. I seem so mean. But kids love me. Because even though I'm stern, I won't even say mean. Because I'm stern, they know it doesn't come from a place of hate. I'm not a like, I'm not, you know how some people are just mean and abusive? I'm just stern, and that's what it is. I'm sorry. Let me tell you, I grew up in a place where I used to be in meetings and I was always unsure. I grew up being unsure. Unsure is the worst place to be. To be unsure on something is the worst place to be. Because you can waver. You can waver. That's where two-faced people come from. That's when people on both sides of the fence come from. Well, yeah, I get that. But no, I get that. No, I am going to take a side. This is my position. Now, you can sway me on that side, but I'm not going to tread the line. Either it's going to be, yeah, you're right, I agree with you. Or no, I don't agree with you. I hate the, yeah, but I hate that. I don't like being a yeah, but person. And that's what we're doing to our kids. We're yeah, butting our kids. Yeah, they need more discipline, but I don't want them to be. No, they will be fine. You still give them love. Like, being stern does not mean that you don't love your kids. As a teacher, being stern does not mean you don't love your students. As a person, as a leader, as somebody that's watching somebody do something stupid. I saw a girl at the club one day, pregnant, smoking a cigarette, and I took a picture because it was so foolish, and her aunt was on my page. That's my niece. Well, why the fuck you don't call your niece right now and tell her to put that goddamn cigarette down because she's pregnant? Because I did. I did. You pregnant. Everybody. That ain't no gut, boo. That's a baby. It's your boy. Spaceship Oasis is incredible. Straight talk with Spaceship. I think I just talked for like 30 minutes straight. This show is crazy. Like, I talk a lot. I just be having to get shit out of my soul. I be feeling so much better. Look, I can't keep calm. My boys are black. You feel me? I can't keep calm. I'm an adult. I know what this world do to us. These kids don't know how this world treats us. I can't keep calm. Y'all care more about being in black folks' business than building your own business. I'm finna get up out of here, man. I love y'all. We just did a special Straight Talk with Spaceship because we not on Tuesday. We wasn't on a house party. I'll see y'all Sunday for the Wild Out Radio Super Duper Sunday Music Review Show with the one and only DJ Lady J Rock. I love y'all so much. I love y'all so much. I love y'all so much. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Make sure y'all be a blessing to somebody's life. It's not about what you get, it's about what you give. This will be on YouTube. Find us on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel, The Wild Out Radio. Can y'all do that? Can y'all subscribe to this channel? Can y'all subscribe to this channel? I appreciate that. I love y'all, man. We out. Peace. Peace.